going on the platforms. Okay.
I haven't used it yet.
See, imagine how annoying this was if we would be if we had to like clear off all the shit today.
Yes.
But we couldn't have.
Glad we did it last night for sure.
Hey, yo, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
What's happening?
Thank you to the people allowing us to use their crib tonight. So we're gonna start off by actually, hold on. Sorry we were late. We ran into a ton of technical difficulties, but we want to thank all the people who entered into the competition. We want to remind everybody that this is not necessarily about winning, but about creating more music. We want to utilize the platforms that we have to the best of our ability. And we want to be able to put more out there, especially now that we're in Denver in the base capital. We should be doing more stuff like this. It's streaming.
Hell yeah. And again, for me, I do appreciate everyone entering. It's like really heartwarming to see what everyone has done with our own personal sound design and creation. And it's cool to see how the community is still up and bumping and still trying to converse with each other and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate Sound Theory for letting me be a part of this.
Yeah.
And,
we unfortunately do not have Crimson with us tonight, and we don't have Trey with us. They had some stuff going on and couldn't make it out. So they're going to be doing their judging later, but we're just going to start by showing the contestants and their tracks as of now. Did you have anything you wanted to?
I'm coming in on this blind, so I can't wait to listen to like everyone's tracks and see what you guys did. Super pumped to see what you guys like got. Honestly, let's hear it.
Yeah. Now I went and I secretly already listened to some submissions, so I know we got some good stuff in store. So we're gonna start off with Dark Sun. He used this one, guys. In his description that he put for us. Let's see if I can find it. I think he used a lot of your samples. So he used Crimson's, Ableton, and he put together something really nice. So we're gonna check it out now.
This is just my job. I don't give a fuck. Well said, Thomas. We asked Thomas here how he thinks vacuums work. And he replied, "This is just my job. I don't give a fuck about vacuums. I don't give a fuck about vacuums."
What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I heard some of my samples in there, and I really liked how the switch up into the bass house. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I really dig the transitions a lot. I'm gonna give this one for sure higher on the creative use of samples because I haven't figured out how to use that vacuum sample yet. So that was sick, honestly. But yeah, I love the bass a lot. I feel like there was a little bit too much overpowerness with the low end for sure, and some of the samples that you used, you maybe didn't compress or like EQ correctly to make them kind of sound more cohesive to the other ones. There was a couple that I listened to that were just a little jabby, I felt like, just to give you some constructive criticism. But overall, really, really dope track. Really good mix down. Like, really, if you mastered it yourself, like, good job. It's very full and loud, and the waveforms look good. So, yeah.
Sweet, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I think that creative use of samples were good. I'd say just the sounds you made them sound good. Just like certain alignments in the transitions, I felt like could have been a little cleaner. But other than that, a good job on the track, and thank you. Then next we're gonna go with Cheetah. So this is Cheetah's.
Stop it, you're breaking my heart. And she just left this one here.
Funny.
Yeah, it's all good. We can have two. I take this a lot already, actually.
Surprise, motherfucker.
That was good, but
That was good.
There was a harsh close there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a one-on close. But
The overall mix down was really good. Or his melody line and his build up I thought was really good.
Another case of the sub is a bit too loud, so I wouldn't say the mix down was quite there yet. Mastering kind of helped you in that case, but I feel like it was just kind of polishing the mix down that needed a lot of work. And then you had like such a beautiful like intro, and then it just kind of like totally switched and that vibe was kind of lost. So I kind of wanted a little bit something more, but I understand like you were going for a certain style, but I think more like tension and kind of like letting the audience know what's coming in the intro is going to be a lot more helpful in a track like this.
Yeah, I think with like really good like dubstep rhythm tracks, a lot of times they'll repeat the same melody lines with the bass. So like you have like a beautiful melody line, and then it's a switch of a melody line, which is like Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like it's the same. Like it's like heavier.
Yeah.
It's the bass sound.
Also,
but
like a
with the
Resolve,
same
but it's still like
melody
just
line.
as heavy
Yeah.
or just as like bassy or whatever.
But it was a pretty inspiring track, and for the culture that you're going for. It will fit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, even though it's like it's very early 2010s dubstep, I will say, but
good.
it's not that it's bad. It's still like really dope. I completely agree with Schlop over here about like the transitions for sure. It seemed like really harsh. It seemed very the one long transition you had seemed like really just kind of point and click. And I feel like there could have been just a little bit more melodicness to it. Also, I didn't really hear any of, or at least like any instances of the samples that I remember like going through and some of the tracks. And which is understandable. You definitely could have like heavily manipulated them, which is still a part of this contest for sure. It's just we want to be able to actually see what you can do with that work, and it seemed like you took probably a lot of either like created your own basses or
Although
used a lot of other basses.
A lot of dubstep artists really fuck up some fucking samples.
Oh yeah, for sure. Completely
like,
like,
like Virtual
like
Riot
change
will
it
take
around.
one little fucking bass line and turn it into some nonsense. So yeah, that was good. That was so that was Cheetah. Thank you again, Cheetah.
Yeah, but overall, I did enjoy the track.
And next we have The Elder. These ones I really liked. He has 2 out. It's not playing for some reason. Hold on.
Haha.
Why isn't this one playing?
Are we doing the Elder?
Yeah.
Elder now.
The Elder submitted 2 tracks, but one of his tracks wasn't running. The other track is also really, really good. And this one is also really good. The other track is dope.
I don't really need to sleep.
Yeah, that one was much better than the drum and bass one.
The drum and bass one was creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one had like the drum and bass one had a bit of mix down issues for sure. The drums were really loud, and I think the theme with both of these tracks is that you need some more like ear candy. Like there needs to be more stuff going on like that surprises you because it gets a little repetitive, and then stopping the beat so much kind of messes with the flow. Like the beat kind of just like drops out sometimes, and you really want to like push the song forward and not stop the beat so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a little indifferent with that a little bit. Growing up like with a heavy hip hop background, I always like cutting out it in like nice moments for sure. Doing it a lot, like super repetitive, does like take away from the actual like melody of it, and it was like had a little bit of repetitiveness to it. But overall, that's probably my favorite track that I've heard so far out of anybody. I really digged the fuck out of that one. It was super inspiring for sure. I loved like the mix down and master. The bass sounded really warm and cohesive the whole time. I really appreciate it when an artist knows how to like use a dedicated sub on top of their bass sounds, which you did a really good job of, and really creative use of really creative use of samples. I heard a lot in there. So overall, I am giving this a good score, but there's definitely some things that could be
Some tweaks.
some tweaks for sure if you're looking at a release for it.
Yeah. So, and DJ News. fat sub.
Fat sub. Maybe too fat. Maybe too fat. I don't know. Hard to tell on the speakers that we're listening to, but it definitely hit there for a sec, and then I feel like the track kind of like meandered into this like weird realm of just trippiness, which was like nice in a sense. Maybe could have used a little bit more in terms of like arrangement and variation, and the build up was nice. So there's that. You guys got anything?
Yeah, I mean, like I really dig the build, the intro, and the drop for it. I feel like the melody to it, if you were trying to add like a melody to it, kind of like was super repetitive. I think it was like some sort of, it was like that, like I could just hear that consistently throughout the track. But I really
liked where the track was going, like what it like. Where it was going.
Oh, for sure. I like how
the
like
creativeness of it. I really enjoyed.
It was very visceral. It's very like space, like soundscapey.
But then you know me, I like really unique shit.
Yeah. No, it definitely
So,
is.
yeah.
It's just like there's a little bit of like I wouldn't give it great on like on like creative use of samples, and also like I feel like it was just a little bit like repetitive toward the end for sure. There was a lot of things that like take you into a different journey. It was more just like this is just a bunch of sound, which is cool sometimes, but I mean
I liked it. I think it definitely was creative. There's a path, a musical path he can go on with the sound that he's going for, which you like. But I do think that learning some because it's like a mix between is this the sound you're going for, or is it do you need to learn more about like EQing and mix down to get proper separating your it's like like if you're in a room, you want to put things in certain areas in the room, not just stuff them all in one
and
little
with electronic
spot,
music
so you want to be able to like have like highs up here, you want to have your lows down here, you want to pan, so this way different sounds are different places, and that's helped me because when I started, my music sounded a lot like this, because again I liked having a different type of sound, being able to create something different. So creatively, I think that you're stepping into a very positive realm. It's just learning that separation of the sounds, and where the correct placement of them. And so just like, I guess that's just like, making sure that your drums stick out even with that fat bass line. So
yeah, and then there's another thing about like beat music too, is like there's a thing called talkback, which is keeps like, it's creative use of space is what it is. So it's like just also not just dropouts, but like sounds that would come in after like a snare hit or after like a kick drum or things like that, where you get your instruments as well. You get your drums as well as like all your instruments and your synths too, to kind of like leave enough space to let each other breathe. Yes. In a sense. Yeah,
I know that for me, like, being like ADHD, when I started producing, I just wanted to stuff as much stuff as possible in, just like stuff have like, but it's good to have like, less is always more in certain segments.
You gotta let the sounds breathe.
Yeah.
You can't be stacking frequencies, because then that's what makes a money mix. And this had a pretty money mix. So yeah, like Kai was saying, you just gotta like avoid just throwing everything down the center, and you need to like use the stereo field. You need to be putting your highs wide and your lows mono. Yeah.
And we hope that helps. Like, we want you guys to continue submitting tracks to these competitions, and we want to see the tracks get better each time we do this. And then next we have Hello. She's a very new producer, but this is and there she goes.
Circle K Fuel Day Thursday.
Advertisement.
Hell yeah.
That didn't sound
Hello. Another fat sub. The house is shaking. Hell yeah. Loved it. So it had like really good arrangement. Like the structure of the whole song was like really good, and you pretty much nailed that style that you were looking for, that like deep trance, or what would you say it is?
All right. That's perfect. Oh yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, I feel like also what Schlab said about like the build-ups, for sure. I definitely think that it could have had more of like an impactful moment for the bass. I do like the fact that there's like multiple moments that are different.
The vocals could have just been brought up in the mix, because I heard them and I'm like, is that Hello like doing her own vocals? Like, that's really cool. I want to hear it.
Yeah. So next we have
saturation on it, and then that brings your voice up, even if it's a bad recording.
Saturation on a soft sign is your friend
Yeah.
for anything.